Hello, good afternoon, welcome. I'm Wormslave2146. It's Wednesday, the 10th of May 2023, and we're back in Factorio today, but with a brand new series. Having given up on the space exploration series in the last session, I thought we would scale back to something quite a bit simpler, just nibble at something different. But an element of what I did enjoy from that run, take that out and approach it differently and kind of focus on that for a while. In this new build, it's going to be focused on trains. The train grid that we built into that previous run, I really quite liked it. I liked the way it worked and some of the elements, how they fit together. It had its issues. Firstly, it was too big, I think. Trains were made from 2 locomotives and 8 wagons, which is pretty big, and even for the needs of Factorio 2 with space exploration, it just felt too big. So I thought, what if we went the other way this time? We scale back the technology to pretty much vanilla, more or less, and then make the smallest train possible on a train grid and see how that goes. So that's going to be the focus of this run. We're going to make trains that just have 1 locomotive and 1 wagon and see if we can piece together a train grid that works around that and can manufacture everything okay. Without any of the kind of advanced tech, I think that might be possible, just building the small stuff from vanilla. Some complication there. We'll have to work how we do that. When we actually get to the point that we're allowed trains, obviously we're starting from scratch, so we'll have to get there in the first place, research them. But yeah, we'll play with that, and with LTN, Logistic Train Network mod, to just practice a bit more, I guess, or poke a bit more at how that system works and how we can configure it to be more effective, perhaps, to behave a bit better than it was, and mostly to kind of get rid of these giant buffer storages I was putting in the station, see if we can work out a better way of processing that with the small trains, the kind of like just-in-time production line type thing. See if we can, or how many rockets we can get launching regularly, how much science we can do with a base based around all of that. Sounds like it might be fun, and certainly be less taxing, a bit more chill than recent sessions, I hope. We'll see how it goes, how much fun it is. Let's hop into the game screen here, and I just wanted to run through the mod list. Anyone who's interested, before we begin, just go through that list for you. So should be here on the load screen, the base game obviously, but then done at water, so we can flip the inputs and outputs of fluid based recipes. Just a quality of life thing that I think is must have, really. Automatic train painter, I like to have my trains the right colour of what they're carrying, and because LTN will use the same train to do multiple things, we can't just paint them a colour and leave it, so the automatic train painting is very nice for that. I love that. The Better Train System mod is just adding extra tiers of train and wagon, so we'll be able to get faster and bigger trains, which is, you know, it's not vanilla, very much not, and the run doesn't need to be, but that's gonna, I think, let us have a really quick and really fun looking network, so that I think will just make it more fun, I hope. We'll see. The crafting speed research, I tend to do a lot of handcrafting, so that speeds that up gradually. FNEI and Hell mod will help us plan. I mean, it is mostly vanilla, but still nice to have like a calculator and a plan thing. We used Factory Planner in the last run, so I wanted to take a look at Hell mod, not used it before, wanted to look at the difference, really see if I can just pick my personal preference between the two for future runs. Safe fill is a water fill mod, so we'll get to put water where we want it rather than it just getting in our way. So I have spawned a map with like no water on, so you know, I like things the way I like them, and we'll be able to control that through that. Squeeze through lets us just run all over the place without getting ourselves stuck between pipes, and the text plate's nice for labeling things up if we want to, which I do like. I've added Bob's Greenhouse mod to make wood. I don't like chopping down thousands and millions of trees, and it's not a consistent or automated input, so we'll create wood using the greenhouse, and we just minimize the number of trees on the map. You need some to get up and running, but minimized it so we can spend less time chopping and more time building. Editor extensions gives us access to a kind of a testing lab we can just hop into to test layouts and create blueprints and stuff like that. So it just gives us room to do that with like a cheat mode. You can spawn stuff in and build there, which is very helpful. And then of course logistic train network, that's the main thing we're going to be focusing on. Lets us control our trains like you would robots, with requests and providers and stuff like that. And the LTM manager is just like a visual interface for that network we saw in the last one. It lets you see where your trains are, what they're doing, however you want. Rate calculator, last one in the list to mention, just gives you information about what any part of your factory is doing. You select part of the factory, it tells you what it's doing and how fast and stuff like that. Shouldn't be necessary, you know, if you're following a plan like from Helmod or Factory Planner, but it can be helpful in just grabbing a bit of information quickly. I've seen other people using it, not used it myself. Some of these quality of life things are new to me, and certainly some of the other little bits of mods, not too much. It is, as I say, mostly vanilla, just with added trains, and that should be fun if you like trains. Let's drop into the world, and I'll just run through it. It's my usual. It's a rail world, so things are quite spread out, but not a massive distance, which is nice for the train grid we're planning on making. And I increase the richness, so when we attach to them, they're going to last a very, very long time. It's 26 million iron ore there, and in vanilla recipes that will last pretty much forever. So it lets us grow pretty quickly. I like that. Easy mode for sure. No aliens. Again, I like the easy mode. I don't feel like having the aliens adds any value, any interesting gameplay to the game, so I skip them. And I guess that's basically it. There's minimal trees. There's probably some rocks somewhere, but I might just nuke them off stream at some point because I don't like them if they start getting in the way and annoying me. There's no water beyond the starting area, so if you remove water from generation, you just get the starting pond, because you do need water to get up and running. And I've made sure to generate a map where the starting oil is near the water, so we can progress that and get to the point of making water fill safely, quite easily. And then I'd like to create a starting map where the starting resources don't overlap and bunch up. So I just re-rolled a couple times to get a map where they're all like separate little squares. And this is what we've ended up with, and looks fine to me. Here we've crash landed. And as with any Factorio new session, first we have to get through the burner phase, get through the research and the setup, and actually start getting all those rail bits and pieces that I want in order to do the actual build I want to do. I didn't add any mods that skip that. There are some. I should try them out sometime to see if I like any of them or accept any of them. In general, I'm not too fussed with doing the burner phase again. We've got plenty of time to be doing that kind of thing. So I'm just going to clear up the mess of the crashed spaceship first. Can't leave it there, you know me. And then we'll run over and start mining up some iron, a bit of copper, a few bits and pieces to get started. Get a few more furnaces, so yeah, let's... This first one getting a bit of coal. Producing something, and then we'll dig up some stone to make some more furnaces, and the normal vanilla process. I can't remember what, so long ago I can't remember the start of the previous session. I'm sure we did skip ahead somehow. We had a little starter kit to accelerate us through this phase or something. Don't remember exactly, but I guess I would generally like to. I've done it enough times. Getting to that point where you just have electricity and can start making things without digging up a lot of coal and feeding it everywhere, I guess. It's one thing those rocks are actually good for, but the big ones that have the coal and the stone in, digging up one of them instead of hammering at this patch over and over is pretty handy. What do I need? I need 9 iron, so I need 1 more if we're gonna make another drill. I have to relearn all the recipes actually as well, thinking about it. You'd think, you know, the amount of Factorio I've played, I'd be able to do some like production lines for vanilla stuff from memory, but I can't. Just go grab a bit of coal. make a couple of these actually, why not? Remember the shortcuts too, there we go, that's better. It's like 1-to-1 in vanilla, right? One ore makes one plate. Yeah. Cool. Take that one up actually, make the drill from it. Put that into there. There we go, that's making some iron constantly. We got any? No, I took it all away. Let's keep him going. With another drill on the coal, if you can get them feeding each other, that just kind of takes care of itself for a while. Preferable. Keep that going. Take that away. They should, yeah, feed coal into one another at a faster rate than they consume it, and therefore we'll keep gaining coal from that source. We can just grab out. It's a little bit of a run. We'll have to get used to it. We don't have the jetpack or the floors that we had in that last run that speed things up, so we'll have to get used to running around everywhere. No big deal. Grab a couple trees from nearby to make a box to put stone into. Start mining a bit of that up. Let's expand that maybe. This is doing okay, so yeah, let's turn this into 4, all feeding one another. Grab what we've got. A second lot of iron up and running if we can keep them fueled. Seems fine. It's kind of up and running. We just need to keep fueling all the different drills by hand. And then we can keep scaling this up. I'm going to take another set to copper, just get some of that being made. I tend to, I don't know, maybe underdo the burner phase, rush. Not that I ever rush anything, but rush towards a electrical generation. So we'll make a bit of copper there. Doing fine. What do we need? Bare minimum. Gonna need a pole, a boiler, a steam engine, and an offshore pump. Just get a boiler. Gonna need a whole bunch of iron, yeah. I'm gonna need a bit more wood maybe in general just to making poles, so disadvantage of not wanting trees everywhere is sometimes you have to run a bit further to get them. It's fine, there's a few down here. I'll treat myself to some grenades at some point in the future and we'll clear the trees out quick. Or maybe I'll actually use robots for once. I don't tend to, but I could treat myself. Not too bad of a setup, actually. Quite happy with the map, everything being pretty close, really. Good start. So we head over to the water and put in the first just temporary bit of stuff. Get some electrical generation going. Where are we going to put this? So I didn't really look much at the wider map that we're going to unlock. And I'm going to want to do some oil at the top, north. We can do power maybe southwards, bring the coal over. Kind of makes some sense. But the bottom of this is not very easy to draw water off. Well, the whole thing's a funny shape. Let's go for it. We'll just put one. Probably going to fill that over. So let's start. Oh, it's very awkward actually. Let's go with there. We'll need to move it all anyway. We'll just do a little something now. With the pole. I don't need to power the offshore pump. That's a modded thing. Vanilla doesn't need that. I mean, a lot of things to remember like that. How do I usually have this? Like that, I think. And there we have electricity, currently doing nothing. But we have electricity. It's a nice start. Need to keep all this running regardless. And maybe scale it up a little bit to get us there, you know. Could do an extra engine. What do we need to make a lab? Just more iron, yeah, so it might make sense to just add an extra iron. A third one. Ooh. No iron there, okay. Take some more wood just to get it going. Maybe more poles. Let's get them planned in down here a bit. How do I usually do this? 2 is inserter. 3 would be underground and 5 splitters, how I usually have it. Get that there. Be nice to get a lab. Just get a few bits of research done. Though again, not really sure what we need. Back to the vanilla approach. So logistics, we've already got belt, automation. We'll want greenhouses, but there's enough trees nearby for now. Probably automation, then logistics. Then logistics science pack. Possibly fast inserter, we'll see. All of that looks so easy. Compared to what we've been doing recently. The idea that we just need 75 red and we'll get to the green level and then actually be building out. Things will go hopefully a lot quicker than they have been. I want to get some electric mining drills, bunch of belt. It's going to take a few bits and pieces. Let's just get one going. We'll start an iron line. Or maybe coal for the power. Either way. Keep that filled up. Still, yeah, just iron. Lots of iron. Run my power poles over. This is fine. Might have to like move them. That power generation isn't going to stay exactly there for long. But I guess we just work around this. I'm going to do the usual giant grid of small electric poles. Like always. Do I want to go left or right of the pole? Doesn't really matter. Different patches of all line up different. That's fine. But they should go east, I guess. Power down here. There's not much space in the middle to do much. So either east or north. Go north. Or smelt. Yeah, I think smelting to the east. So we'll run everything down and then eastbound. And start some smelting cells around this area, which, of course, trees in the way, but not many of them. Chop a few down, we can use the wood as a fuel for more iron production. Bit by bit, keep running in circles. It's generally the start of the game, lots of running in circles. Not bad going though. We can get a lab, and what do I want? 10, 30 maybe? Do 10 for now then. Get some more going. How far down? It's probably not going to go there. That might go there. The starting resources are not as rich as what I've set the rest of the world to. They won't last as long. So I don't have long-term goals with them. They won't necessarily fit within the train grid when we reach that point, but they should last us up to that point. This is kind of okay, so we just send it that way there. Make a bunch more belts. Start a few inserters maybe. Keep chopping. Make off this little group of trees, and then we'll take our science packs to the lab, get them fed in. Get automation researched. Not that we're going to immediately use it, but we will use it. I guess actually we probably will use the logistics first, the splitters for the feeding stuff into the smelting. But we want both anyway. Oh, I don't need to run over here. I've already done a long line of poles. Put it on this corner here. That'll do. Let's grab some more coal. Feed it in to make more stone. Put the odd bits in there. We'll come grab it when we need it or want it. Feed them in and grab whatever copper we've got. Make a bunch of poles. Actually, we could do with more. Chop some wood and make a few more. Start laying out the grid for where this, the first smelting cell is going to go and so on. I might need to use Hellmod to work out how big that should be. Memory is failing me. I know it's like a multiple of 12 in each cell. We can find out, and we can have a first little look at Hellmod. I've taken a peek. I know what the UI looks like. That's about it. And I assume that it works very similar to Factory Planner, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Let's just make all them poles. This is Hellmod, and we do the usual kind of stuff. Create a production line, add a recipe. Let's say we want to make iron plate. Here in the output, we can tell it how many. I want to work in minutes. No, I don't. I want to work in belts. What's the number? Let's go with yellow for now. That's what I'm after. 1 yellow belt per second, 48 furnaces, 24 each side. Vaguely rings a bell. And then we can halve it and shrink it and play with it as we go. I'm not necessarily going to plan too far ahead. 48 was the number that I was looking for. So let's bring our line of poles further over. And then we want to start after these packages are finished and bring them all together and fit all the lines around a bit. So let's say here, good enough. I want to start north of the iron bit though, so that can run down and up. Sure. So the first one's going to be in this kind of area. Fine for now. There'll be a copper one down here or something. Don't need to move that. How do I do this? Normally, it's like there and there. Something like that. Just below the poles and then inserters. Gonna need more of them, obviously. Can make some now. They go out and then down the middle, and they run in, and so on. And up here there's like splitters, and then underground, other way round, like that. That feeds into there. Could that be one to the right? Yes. If that helps. I mean, that pole is there, so I don't think it helps. Run up and split off. Doesn't really matter. So I'll go with there. And that along there. That's fine. Just like to have it encased in poles, so we'll add another row. Maybe get some actually working before drawing the lines too long. Yeah. Doesn't really matter. So yeah, we do need to get logistics research done, which was another 20 red, which we need some copper for. Sure. We wasted it all on power cables. Just one drill doing it. That is definitely underkill. But still, I don't enjoy the burner phase a lot. I'm feeding coal into like burner inserters and stuff like that. I just want to jump ahead to this point really. So I do. What else are we going to need? So keep going with belt. Definitely going to need a bunch of that. A few more inserters maybe to start. And then going to need a bunch more furnaces than that, ultimately. Let's come down to our little box of stone and grab a whole bunch. Close to another stack there. We're good. Make another 20 for now. Get that research moving, might as well. Lay in some plans. So coal, don't know how many lines we really planned for. Doesn't particularly matter, just out of interest, because we've got the information ahead of us. I need to enable the logistics row. So each cell uses 0.1, is that right? There's like a preferences. You can change the number of decimal points. 0.08 of a belt per cell. So we can do 12 cells. 12.5 cells off a single belt of coal, which, oh, that's, hang on, 4.32 is the 0.08, so 12.5 of those is 54 burner drills. It's not a bad user interface actually. The information I'm finding a bit difficult to get with my eyes, but that might just be a practice thing, takes time. But the buttons make a lot of sense. Things do what you kind of expect them to. Not bad. Would we fit the equivalent of 54 of them drills on there? Maybe. Just feed them in. Bring that back up. Change it to... See, great use, click on it, and then that's where the options live. That's sensible. 2.16. 27 of that type of drill on here. I mean, just... That's 40, so yes, easily. Probably double it. In which case, let's plan for 2 lines of coal. They'll be there. Oh, why not be more organised? Coal lives in the first gap, iron lives in the second gap. That'll be fine. And then coal can go in there, and iron in there. There we go, some iron. We need extra drills, let's make a few. We need at least 1 on the coal to bring that over here too. And then we'll need more belt. Got more inserter zone. Lay some of them out. It's a start of something. It's taking some shape. Let's bring some poles down here then. Which way did I do them? Facing right. That's not ideal then. There's still time to flip it, I guess. Yeah, I don't think it matters. Just for the sake of the first one, with the coal, rather they were pointing left here. Which may, you know, like I say, on other patches in the future be the wrong way around. But we'll deal with that in the future. Might have to go down in the future as we will want copper and stone, but we can deal with that. Up is fine for now, reduces the amount of belt we need immediately. Keep them moving for now. When the new stuff is up and running, we can get rid of the old iron production. Grab that copper. Again, if there's more stone, we'll make more furnaces. And put that second drill here. Then we just need a bunch of belt. Well, not that much, maybe. About to get logistics finished, the research. Be able to do the 2 splitters and the underground we need to get this actually moving. Any second now. The next thing, again, there's nothing in particular. I like to have steel axe, I guess, just because, you know, stones and trees annoy me. So let's get steel processing done. And 2 of them and 1 of them. And then the rest regular belt for now. Just need to get this coal lined up. It's not a bad start. Actually is kind of nice to be building stuff that actually is doing something and is growing and has a purpose, and you know it works and stuff like that, as expected. Just gonna borrow a bit from there to get that coal moving. We'll need more iron to make more belt. That's all good there. A few more bits. Okay, so we got 8 that are actually connected now. This is automated, but we do need to make sure we send some coal for power so that that remains automated, or, you know, self-fulfilling. That's fine. If we're doing that, I will take away these. We can reuse them to accelerate copper temporarily. Where are they? There they are. We'll finish setting up that whole line of iron and get it fed and everything, and then we'll do a copper one. So for now, continue to feed this by running down here and doing it. Keep turning them into furnaces. Just clear this bit of iron ore I've picked up when tidying up. Scoop up what we've got there. Very nice. Very nice actually. Yeah, I might be able to move the power generation where I actually want it. Just make a couple more drills and a bunch more belt initially so we can get some flowing in that direction. And we'll need just a bit of pipe of various types. So I can put it lined up where I want. I think it's going to be quite far from the water, actually. Don't know, at least initially this lump, like I'd landfill that and square it off a bit, but we can't do that for a little while. So might... Don't know. I think we will plan for that being landfilled when it comes to lining stuff up, actually. So that's fine. Let's go grab more iron, look to making the pipe. It's good. I'm not speedrunning, we're not trying to launch the rocket within 2 weeks or 2 sessions or anything like that. Not on purpose. If it happens, that's cool and all, but don't really care. I don't think it will happen. I'm going to get too distracted trying to build our trains out earlier than I should. Probably. That can likely stay there and be the easternmost pump. Maybe. Could tidy the right edge up. This is not a big pool of water and it is longer before we get the water fill because you need explosives to do that, which means oil processing. So we will be using this pool for a while. We'd normally straighten the edge there, like on the innermost point of it, which actually I guess is that little lump. It's just an ugly patch of water. So I guess we plan to... Doesn't matter what we plan for. Let's leave that pump there. But I'm going to temporarily disconnect everything. Line it all up with a little gap. Yeah, again, not ideal. We would generally allow for the coal to run there. But yeah, so that's good. It'll just run there initially. Then it's boiler and engine. No, got that wrong. It is one further away. It's fine because it makes room for the splitter that we will eventually have there. Sure. No. It's my memory, you know, just can't remember it. Well, that would be there. But okay. That one there. So those poles are okay. And the spacings, yeah, you need undergrounds to do it the way I want to, I think. That one there, so that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, yeah. To make it symmetrical, the belt needs to go under the poles rather than... Which is fine. We've got the underground and stuff. That is a little awkward at the front, though. Because there will be a splitter, which won't be able to go under. So... how do we deal with that? I don't remember. I mean, this line can just be one further away initially. That's fine. There's no other way other than moving all the way back here. I guess, yeah, it's fine. But let's plan ahead for that. So we'll run the line there initially. And make at least one underground and then more boilers, more engines. Need something in to get it started because it can run. And should. Good. Can't quite square that off yet, but that's fine. It's fine. It's good, actually. Yeah. few more boilers, few more engines. Don't need that much power yet, but overbuild it. 1, 2, 3, let's say. Go see how much iron we've got, how many engines it can make. Should be good. I mean, there's 8 furnaces, but it's only 2 drills at the moment, which I doubt feeds them fully. Not that it's going anywhere. In fact, they've stopped. Oh, because there's not enough coming in. Yeah, that does make sense. More drills will be the next order of business, I guess. One. Can't remember. How many did I build? 2 there. So we really want to 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Uses all the iron up. Never mind. Next time we run over, we can make the extra drills. A few, and then they'll make more iron, so on and so on. Can't afford the underground either. But only just. Never mind. I also need to do that different. Ah, that's a good point. I'd usually split that in the middle of them. So we could shift everything, but the poles are in the right place, so let's shift that over. And I've used the pipe up. That makes sense. That's what I want to do. Send water to both sides. Inserters for... need more of them. Ooh. I can't go there because that little bit of water is... okay. That's annoying. I could move it further away to avoid that, or like I say, just plan to have that land filled in the future and deal with it then. Doesn't mean I didn't need this engine, but oh well, we can live there. We want an underground and an inserter. And we want coal to actually come down this line, so we need more of that too. Those are the 2 drills for that. Put them over on this edge. Pole points are left. It's not the best spot for it. It's going to go there. They can stay for a second. No, they can't. They're in my way. But we do need to keep making coal that I can use for the copper, so we will keep a couple of them running. I can scoop off the belt, but there's not that much on it. There won't be that much on it. Except for over here, sure. Grab all that. One of them, some of them, and the rest of that. Grab a stack from there while we're here, get some more furnaces, whatever copper we've got. Head on over and get that underground in. Inserter, there we go. So that's a good start. Although, being sensible, let's do another underground. Do the next one too. Doesn't make sense to put this one here because it's not going to be most efficient. We can put the one there or the 2 there later, but for now we can feed this one. Get both engines running sooner. You just need to make sure that stays connected. Good, so that runs in. Just need this end of the belt line to be good, and then that's power taking care of itself until we start draining it too much for the amount of coal there. Which won't take long. What we want next is more drills making iron, I guess, and copper, and then to extend this out. Seems good. Let's make them 4. Let's make some more poles. Carry this down. So that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That'll fit in that configuration, 24, so 48 in total. So that's 1 full belt of iron if we do that much, which I like to have. Don't need it. Don't need that much iron to get moving. But nice to build in, you know, like full blocks. Makes it neater. Good. I'll just chop this set down while I'm here. Or some of it. Good, just bit by bit clear all the trees out of the way of what we're building. And build the poles into everywhere where we're going to need power. Okay, what do we got? Get those extra drills put into place. Well, they're powered. There we go. That should be a lot more iron. Which is, you know, what we're really short of in terms of everything. Got a whole bunch of furnaces, so why don't we get them into position? Onto there. So we will want another set of poles on the end. That's where the furnaces end. Then we need a bunch of inserters and belt. And then more drills, I guess, to feed it all. Getting the outside fed in is probably the priority. Don't know. Use more belt to feed more and whatever. Either way, it's fast enough, you know, for me. Yeah, let's make tons of belt and then we'll make as many inserters as we can after. Just going to set up a bus. That's how I do things, so that's easiest for my mind. A few smelting cells here. Take all the outputs, head north, turn a direction at the top end. Don't know what the top end would be. Could plan for another couple cells of iron, or work out exactly how many drills fit and how many that's going to be exactly, maybe. And then, yeah, whatever, turn right with it, start the bus and start pulling things off there, above or below. Below, maybe. I don't know. It's not ideal if the oil is going to be over here. Well, then it feeds on to the bus, I guess. So that's actually pretty good. Yeah, okay. So we'll be heading eastbound with everything. Ultimately. I do like the idea of planning ahead for how many smelting cells we're going to have. Inserters, there we go. We can do if we build out some ghosts and do some planning. Hell not. If we build this in, or let's get the poles out. Cover over this whole patch. The other stuff can extend to the south, I guess, so it's just about working out where the top is going to be. That doesn't line up great with that edge. Never mind. Could have had them. The drills pointing right or left wouldn't really make any difference at all. Never mind. So if we then grab that, paste it in a few times up here. One row there, and then we can take that whole set, paste it over. Only the ones lined up with resources will actually build. The ones currently green, so the blue ones don't have any resource, they won't even put the ghost in, which is handy for us. A few extra can go at the top here. Could put some there. Sure. Actually cover quite a few resources. That's like 2,000. For the size of this patch, that's quite a lot. Not a lot overall. That edge I think I'll leave. And that tiny little patch there I think I'd leave. Some of these won't actually be grabbing many resources at all. Just like not even worth having, but still. Yeah, I think we should take anything under 1,000 away. Well, that's 33,000, which is a lot more. Just check the edge ones, the fringe ones, for any that are really, really small. Like that one. That one, but not that one. Sure. And the others are okay, not, you know, small numbers around the edges, but that's normal, and that's fine. The 3 there can balance quite well if we send them onto that bus, onto that belt. That's the general plan. There won't necessarily be 5, they'll combine in some fashion, I hope. It's 102 drills there. And we can plan for this. If we change this, take that. That's for 60 drills, so it's not even going to be 2. 2 belts would be 120 drills, which we're not going to have. So, okay. Keeps it simple. There's no... I mean, this package of iron over here is for later, you know, it's for when we got the trains. This is all we're going to use for now. Even if that means running slow, small production lines. So we'll have a second one, but it won't be fully fed. And that tells us where the top is going to be, so I don't actually want to build them in yet. That one will be there. There and there, yeah. And then that's the edge of it. And that's the edge of there, so the bus will start just above this line. In terms of where the output from these smelting cells needs to go, just above that and turn eastbound is the plan. Scoop up all this lovely iron, make a whole bunch of belts, and make some more drills. There's no iron ore making it this far down, so that is the current hold up, not the inserters or the belt. But it's all good. As we've just seen, this will take more than half that patch, so that's a lot of drills to get done. But, you know, that's what we're working on now. I shouldn't actually put the ghosts in, it confuses me sometimes. Which ones are done and which ones are not, so we'll leave them. But make some more inserters. 90 is a few. Bit much maybe, oh well. Keep these fed and moving. Some more drills here would be sensible. Actually, let's move these again. They're in the way again. Should have planned ahead better. making belts now. Let's go build that in. Can I make any more? Scoop up the iron on the way past. Then we can make more drills. There we go. Okay, and that's ready. We'll leave a little gap at the end and then head north there, I guess. This is the penultimate one. So let's take that over one. And this one I'll output there. Up to this point. Then we need to space it all out, which does require a bit of planning ahead, I guess. And working out how we're going to produce things if we're going to put intermediates onto the bus, which I think not this time, none of them. So we just got the base things. It's a good way of seeing them. Not there. Yeah, here. 2 iron. Probably 2 copper. Maybe not, from the size of it. Could be 1. Could be a problem, but let's say 2. 1.5. 2 iron, 2 copper. 1 steel. Oh, there's not enough. Oh, that's a problem. Not enough iron here to make steel as well. Okay. We're going to need that second iron patch then to make steel. Or the second cell here is for steel, in which case we need to head a bit further north. Let's do that. Yeah. So let's go with 1. And head a little further north. So that'll be the second iron. 1 and 2. And then that iron gets turned into steel here. 1 and 2. Then we're going to be there. Just 1 further up. Second set of iron in between those 2. Which means the steel comes out between those 2. So that's going to be the outside of the steel. So it's after this pole, let's say. There's the gap. Okay, that's fine. Go with 1, 1 and 1 then. Yeah, 1 of that, 1 of that, 1 of that, 1 of that, 1 of that. Not those, they'll be made locally. Stone, brick. So at least for now, like 7 lines would be fine. It's not many resources actually, they're quite small starting patches. Okay, we'll live, but there we go. So it's just 2 gaps really, yeah. That one will be there. Steel, iron, copper, something. Yeah, sure. And the oil-based stuff is coming across the top here to join it in. Should be fine. Can't be ideal, doesn't need to be because it's only temporary and it can be small, that's fine. Get things onto a train grid as soon as we can. Scoop some of this up. We are making inserters now. Okay, good. There we go. 1 cell of smelting. Perfect. Not bad at least. Made some more drills. Let's get more iron. Fed. And then we've got more inserters up and running for all of that. So let's make sure we keep coal being fed to power. Seems good. Keep the copper fed. Keep making furnaces. Lot to juggle, but it's not bad, you know. Once you have a vague idea what you're trying to do and everything. Let's use some furnaces for planning then. So this is going to be, let's say, stone, brick. And this will be copper. So we're quite close together already. That's fine. It's good, even. Keep the coal going the direction it's going. Maybe turn it a little earlier. That's fine. We're certainly not going to need more than one line of coal for everything. And the resources that are flying here, but, you know, it's should be enough for some good progress. Making some stuff. I'd like to, I guess, make more. Ideally, we would start making the train grid with stack inserters and blue belt and everything already. But we can just like plan ahead for it. Can use editor extensions to plan ahead for it. Test things out. That's fine. I never did drill into my head the whole steel thing, how you're meant to feed it. Whether it's 5 cells into one or not. Maybe Hellmod can help me with that. Like, Factory Planner would have been able to. So if we're making steel instead, and I want, let's keep going with one yellow belt. It's the scale of it, yeah. One iron smelter does feed one steel smelter, that's right. It's because of the speed of the steel recipe is slower. But in order to make a full belt of it, you need 5 times as much because it's 5 times slower. So that does make sense. It's not 5 to 1, it's 5 to 5 to make the full belt. So we're going to be making less than a fifth of a belt, which is fine. That is not a problem. I'm going to line all this up while we're here. Need to make some more splitters and undergrounds for that bit. Okay, good to know. Let's scoop some more stuff up and make a bunch. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Over there. Scoop some more iron. Make a bunch more regular belt. Although, with that done, let's actually prioritise copper. Won't need to manually feed that either if I get that one set up. It's going to be here, bottommost, because it's the bottommost patch, I guess. Good a reason as any. Try to stop at the right spot. So there. Try not to miss any. All good. I think I've got enough inserters for the whole lot. Make some more of them next. Yeah, I've used everything I'm carrying. Could be worth doing a bit of that crafting speed research early rather than later. There's the first one already, just need 50 reds to do it. Speed up this handcrafting a bit. Yeah, don't have that. Okay, got the splitters though. Where do they go in relation? There. No, one to the left. Like that. So if we're going to split off from the coal to go in, we do need to move it down to there. That done. Yeah, we could have done this quite differently. Now that we know how much of each thing we're doing, that might as well just run next to it. Nothing else is going to run there. A second line of iron is going to come eventually. We'll sort that out and probably prioritize that into iron. So it'll be the steel that's significantly short, and we do get a full amount of iron as a priority. We'll see. That's all fine for now. Scoop some more up though while we're here, why not? Get them inserters being made. Some drills have been made. Why don't we go connect them up too? Keep a few back for the copper. No, we'll just make more by then, I should imagine. Iron is going quick now. We can make that quicker. Let's do coal. Just to be sure. Kind of run it on an empty zone as well. Not too happy with that. Let me move this again. We'll just leave it for now. We should get copper up and running before we need more. Let's put 8 there. Take these away. Not going to have enough belt to do this, am I? It's a shame. Never mind. We'll get more before it matters, I'm sure. In our queue. More furnaces. Grab all the copper that's there, feed them in again. Feed this one too, might as well. That's, yeah, going to be an interesting one for the stone as well. Could just make them shorter if we know we're not going to feed them all. I don't know at this point how much stone we're actually going to have. We'll fine. We want it to line up anyway, so whatever, really. No big deal. Add underground there. Gonna have a splitter there. Yep. Need one bit of belt. Just be patient, I guess. Long poles as well. Add them to the queue. Go chop up some more wood soon. Actually, not so much got in my way as I was thinking. I guess I still in my mind have the scale of the other mods rather than the scale of vanilla, which this, from even what I remember of our previous vanilla runs that we've done, this seems small. Don't know. Could be misremembering. I can always go back and watch them, I guess. They're up there on YouTube. I remember them being fun. Who knows? Could be nostalgia. The easier Factorio times. It's good for now. That's fine for now. Let me keep going down this run. Ooh, got that wrong. Oh, it's plugged in right. Okay. What's priority now? Or what do we do now? Get some copper drilled, I think. I'm heading up here. It's going to take a bit of belt. Probably going to have to point it down so it doesn't clash with the stone. Can't point the stone up because of the coal. Still a lot easier than when you spawn a world where they're all overlapping. But the starting area is always close. The resources are, by design, close. Which I'm not a huge fan of. Prefer if they weren't. You know, I don't mind doing the extra bit of running to, in order to keep the lines clean and separate and stuff like that. Not enough poles yet. That's going to be there. Need the poles to know how far down to come, but I can get these trees out of the way. At least they are definitely in the way. Might as well clear out this whole, I don't know what you call it, little group of trees. It's not big enough to be a woods or a forest. The copse, maybe, is that a small group of trees? Either way, it's gone. Let's do some ghosts to get the line up right. Could be a drill there, so we'll want to go there probably. It is an unnecessarily long belt. There we go. That's how I work. We know this by now. There are these guys as well on the way past. And we're going up. I mean, it's not going to clash with anything. Like where the iron is, this goes in before then. So we can go there. Stone can go next to it. Seems fine, really. But I have run out of belts. Not surprising, that is a lot. You can run up and get some more iron. Which is coming in at a good rate now. Still not that many, but it looks good on the belt. And yeah, there's a lot of iron here. Good. Perfect. That's a good spot. Where are we? Like an hour and a quarter in? I spent quite a bit of time talking about nonsense at the start, so happy with that. A few extra of them and 500 belts, bit by bit maybe, and then a whole bunch. We'll see. It's good. We're not actually like making anything, but we're doing my usual, spending way too long setting out foundations for everything. That at least this time will turn into something. Will be good. We're making some other stuff before we make poles, so let's fill in the missing inserters. That's what we're currently making. Try and get a straight line. Still nothing block done. How many? Don't have enough furnaces to do the next one, but we could put some of them out. This will be for the stone brick. Just don't immediately need, I guess. I think it's needed in the recipe to make greenhouses, maybe. But we use so little wood. That's mainly just about being able to have a consistent supply when we have our train grid set up and we want wood for making poles for some kind of mold that I assume we'll have, then it will make sense to have a wood supply that doesn't require me to go chop a tree and drop it in a box or something silly like that. Wouldn't make much sense. You have some poles, so let's actually get the rest of these powered. Will be good. Some copper flowing. They've become misaligned somehow. What's gone wrong there? Oh, I started in the wrong place. That'll be why. One to there, and so on. That's all built in, and then yeah, I do like to have poles everywhere, around everything, even if we're not using them. It helps if I accidentally drive into them with a car later, I guess. Keep the power flowing multiple directions. Not that I tend to use the car, but I don't know. Could be tempted to do so. Fill all that in. There we go. Belt is in the queue. Sure, we're getting towards that. No problem. Yeah, like I say, there might have been an idea to rush that crafting speed, but no big deal. Keep things queued up. At this point, I'd need to cancel everything to make more. We'll just keep it ticking along for now. Grab all this. We don't need to keep these going anymore, really. I've got enough on me, and then we have got it up and running. Have any more drills? Yeah. Maybe do a couple more here then. Sure. Why not? And make them faster as well if we just upgrade that drill. Bunch of coal on me now, which I don't need to manually feed anything, so let's dump all that into these furnaces. Keep our inventory tidy-ish. Looking at this belt, I do feel a little crazy about how much it says we can use here. Just go back to that for a second. We're making iron at a rate of 1 belt. What am I confused by? Number of drills? Seems fine. 60 drills to 1 belt. We've got 10. So this is a 1/6 of a belt that we're looking at rolling here. It looks like more than that. Maybe like, I don't know, 1/3? They must just be spread out quite a bit or something, you know. My eyes have never been good at telling what's going on immediately in front of me. Okay, here. Copper needs to go under that, and then coal needs to get out of the way there. Bunch of copper ore on me as well. Let's get that fed in. Can build in this bit of ghosts and get that actually flowing if I've got enough. Perfect. 8 drills of copper and 10 drills of iron connected up. Let's build out more of this, I guess, to get it smelted up. We'll be all good. Let's not do the 400 belts first. Get this research done. We need 50 for that. Don't necessarily need the steel recipe to build out the stuff for it, so we'll just start with that 50. Which I guess we could be bolting all this together pretty quickly to get the machines doing that. But still, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter either way how we get there. And that's all the outside, so we are feeding into the copper smelting. Don't have enough belt to get the output lined up and everything, but that's fine. We can come and grab copper now, you know. We're probably going to need more coal drills to feed that, and certainly to feed more. 1 left. It's something. It'll help. Definitely. Could swap the stone one back to get another, but whatever. I mean, we can tell, can't we? The recipes are the same from what I remember of vanilla. Yeah, speed and everything's the same, iron and copper. So, number of drills for that. 4.32, no, because it's that type. Can I default that somewhere? Preferences. Defaults for fluid, default for items, but not for the building. Interesting. There must be a way of doing it. Be a silly oversight to not be able to say, use this kind of drill by default. Move things around, copy and paste. Different tools. Yeah, choose the fluid or the logistic. How we compute, you know, the matrix is in there. Assembler limitations. Oh, I can put in how many? Sure, don't need that. No, I don't see it. Some kind of setting administration? No. Rules, mods. Don't think so. Okay. I don't want to be changing it every time, so I hope I just accidentally stumble upon the option somewhere to default that, but there we go. Either way, to run both of these cells I need 5 drills and I've got 3, so there isn't enough coal for all of it, is the conclusion. Let's make some more after the science and then more belt. Sure. Some of that rolling while we make the rest. Scoop up some more iron. Keep things moving. Actually, yeah, where it does look like less here, where it goes around the corner and through all this, and splits out. Okay. That makes more sense. Just scoop all that up, that'll do us for a while. Did have some more furnaces, cool. Keep building. Don't need that many more, but I'm sure we can find our use for the stone. Or always feed it in for smelting, can't we? That's not a big deal. All them for now. Could steal that lot, but we'll be there soon enough. Use a bit of belt here to keep this moving. Don't know where that came from, but there we go. Good. About the inputs here as well, so that's there and there, under there. Just grab one of them, or that. Oh, I took one up when I... No? No, that's good. Okay, perfect. Got inserters and they will live here, so why not? Harder to do without the furnaces in place. I think that's right. Oh, I've made some more. Somehow. Oh, more than a stack, sure, and it grabbed it for me into hand. There we go. A few more, not much. It's good. And that's a good throughput of iron being made, actually. I mean, it looks it on the belt. When we actually start making stuff, I'm sure it's going to run short pretty quick as we progress with the technologies and stuff, but still, it's all good. Let's go feed the rest of these flasks into research. It's a slow one. It'll get there. No problem. Reels being made next to it. We'll get that extra coal that we need. Grab the stone and queue up them. Might need more power soon, actually. How are we? We're making up to 5.4 megawatts if we keep the coal flowing. Using half that. So, soonish. Another 50 furnaces. How many do we need, even? 28 in a row. That's probably it for our initial amount of smelting. So let me actually stop this. Why not? Gives me a drill back as well. And I'll add a bunch of coal if I get some belt. It's all good. It's fine. Research won't be done before I start making that belt. It's interesting. It's 30 seconds each one, sure. Wait, did I miscount this? Why did it say 114? I thought it said 50. Am I crazy? I might be. We'll find out when it's not enough. It's not a big deal. We don't really need to be researching at this point. Like we could, but I'd rather just get production of it up and online in a not a big scale, you know, not compared to what we've been doing before, but at a scale. Okay, just going to square that off, so we'll have 10 drills there, which is okay for now. But if we want to do the stone, that's not a full set, but the steel will be close. This isn't great, so I think we'll end up with a second run here sooner rather than later. Or probably later. That'll do for now. And we'll work out what's next soon. Let's put the some extra copper down. And then some extra iron. Wouldn't hurt. Put it on the belt we already have. When we get the belt to do that. While we're waiting, I know I'm going to need splitters and an underground there. And on the top one, that's all we'll need for that, but there will be, of course, here a splitter for the coal. Can do that now. There'll be one there, and it'll go under there. And then the last one feeds into there, that's fine. Splitter here. And under there. Just in time, so there'll be stone running there. Kind of cool. A few more drills. Where do we want them? Maybe here as well. I need more belts to actually connect all this before I forget. Which is what we're making now, so that's fine, but prone to forgetting. 4 more drills, so 2 more copper, 2 more iron. And we'll need to make some more to get the stone up, I guess. Fine. In fact, there we go. Queue that up for next. Take these up here. We will shortly have a little bit more belt. There's the iron plugged in. There's extra coal. And that extra coal. Almost forgot. And the copper's all good. Bring the belt to finish this off. See how far we can get with the belt we're making. So iron is there, steel's going to come out here, steel, iron, it's just one of each, so that's stone and that's copper. And we'll want poles the other side of it as well. Try and line them up right, there we go. Didn't install a mod to make nighttime brighter. Probably should have. Might add that. Or we'll put lights everywhere, which I do like the look of, but they drain power and I have to remember to build them. Not the end of the world. They're both of their iron and copper, which is great. I might just finish building all of this before we actually manufacture anything. Either way, it needs doing. Don't necessarily go faster one way or the other. Just it would get research up and running, I guess, if we started making red packs and feeding them into multiple labs. That's tempting, isn't it? Very tempting. Take these spare bits and pieces and actually use them, maybe. We'll leave that for now. Hello, Mondo. Nice to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you haven't broken anything in a rage about how rubbish Darkest Dungeon 2 is. Trains indeed. Not yet. We need to get there, need to research them. But the idea is to focus on trains in this series. Run, factory, whatever you want to call it. Disappointed. Yeah, it is disappointing, obviously. I guess it's just, you know, mixed feedback, isn't it? Like, they're going to have that early access period where I don't think they really knew which direction to take things, because a whole bunch of people were saying take it one direction and a whole bunch saying take it the opposite direction. I think they wanted to do something completely new, and a large chunk of the fan base was not accepting of that, and they ended up with a bit of a, what's the word, chimera? And I don't know. Well, hopefully they can just make it better with time and patches and stuff like that, but a run taking 3 hours, yeah. Time to enjoyment. That's the theme of why we're not playing space exploration anymore. The time it takes to have fun should be quite short in a video game. Otherwise, it's not a game. I've been this for years and still don't have Steam Deck support on launch. That's disappointing. Or gamepad. Yeah, that's unusual. But like I said, I think if their early access had just been like, they put the game out there, everyone says, this is an excellent idea, continue this idea. They might have developed it and added things like that. Instead, I think they spend a lot of time like backpedaling on their original ideas. Trying to make it, I don't know, more like the original or less like the original, or in circles. I have heard one of the characters is like insanely overpowered. Essentially, you just, if you have one, you win, and if you don't, you lose, kind of thing, which is awful. Start around here somewhere. I need to make some assembly machines, of course. Hadn't thought of that. Not that one. Don't necessarily need to do it, but to save even a second of thinking. And I want to play with Hell mod a lot more, just so I can make that decision on which of this type of mod I want to use forever. What do we want to make? I usually go for 60 a minute. That might be overkill. It often is overkill, and we should just scale back. We know our resource input is pretty low compared to what I remember, so I think we're going to halve that. We'll go for 30 a minute. So we add that line. It's pretty simple and easy. Just out of curiosity. It uses very little of what we're making, which is nice. Yeah, so a factory, but it would be half. Yeah, sure. 1 to 5 will make us 30 a minute, which is what I remember it being, but nice to do it by Hell mod. Now that like that. Have I started too far up, potentially? Pull the line. I mean, we could go there, but let's leave ourselves some room for playing around. Hard to say, yeah, but some characters are much better than others. Yeah, no good balance as well then. Look over all the bad stuff. Said it's going to be a different game. Yeah. Same enemies every time you fail. It doesn't seem like a good launch, but like you say, there's actually, there's a big community of people who are going to say it's an excellent launch regardless. Like, good or bad, they were going to say it's amazing. And it doesn't need changing at all and stuff like that, which is just wrong. What about the other side, don't I? One further forward, so that'll be there. I need to go make, I need to just make some inserters. Put that there, and I will use priorities. I'm still not sure if it's the right thing to do, but I will. And then copper there, that goes under. It's a bit of a tight squeeze, not sure. Could just arbitrarily spread some things out here, but I probably won't. Is that okay? Hang on. I need to look at belt numbers. So the input to the 5 is 0.04 of a belt of copper, so we can share them quite comfortably. It would be nice if it does close that. Interesting. Escape key, sorry. If you open that and open your inventory and no, okay, I guess escape key wasn't working briefly, but it's fine now. If I want half a belt, we've got no inserter mods or loaders or anything, so I can't change which side of the belt this output's on. We have to do this the vanilla way. I just want copper on the right, so I can't just pinch that, because that would be the wrong side. So we want to bend that out a little earlier and do that. 2 inserters is probably unnecessary, but just to make sure. In fact, I think, unlike Factory Planner, Helmod will tell you if we change our preferences, so we use yellow inserters, and then instead of saying belt we say inserter, you need 0.6 of an inserter to get the copper in and 0.6 of an inserter to get the gear in, and I assume that's per machine, not that we need 0.6 for all 5 machines. Could be wrong on that, but it seems, from my experience in Factorio, like that's right. You need 0.6 for the copper per machine, and therefore you need 2 inserters because that's more than half on each item. I think that's, yeah, which is good. I didn't find an option to do that on Factory Planner, but you can do it here on Helmod, which is cool. So yeah, I think 1 blue inserter, but 2 yellow ones. So that's all good. And then outputs are there. My question being, how many labs can I feed with that many? I don't think Helmod tells you that. You like helmet? You need a helmet. I don't think it's a thing that these mods do, but I could be wrong. Add technology? What does add technology do? Tells you how many. Okay. Interesting. And some potential. Let me create something. Add. For example, we're doing crafting speed 1, which is there. We want to do that once. There, okay. I'm not sure what that number is, but we can change this to give the thing I'm looking for. If we have 5 grey machines making red science packs, we can feed 15 labs to do this research, which ticks every 30 seconds. So if you had one that ticks every 5 seconds, you would need more, or you could feed more labs. That makes a lot of sense. What is one that's big and quick? None of them. Okay. I mean, steel. 55-second ticks. So we had that, for example. And technology, steel. Might search. I can. Cool. And same deal. I'm crazy. 2.5 labs. Oh, because it ticks quicker. Fewer labs because it ticks quicker. That makes a lot of sense. I want the other way around. I want big and slow. Which, yeah, something like projectile damage, 130 seconds. Or shooting speed. Okay. Just very curious at the moment. I don't... Like, 15 labs will do me. That number's fine, but I'm curious. Weapon shooting speed 1 will do. We do, yeah, so 5. Interesting. Don't know what that is. One per second, I guess it is. 1 science per second would be double this. We're doing half of a science per second is 5 of them to 15 labs. Okay. So done. Remove that block. And that's, I'm not sure about navigation here at the moment. We'll get some practice with that. And there's the escape key not doing what I was planning every time, but we'll get used to that as well, I'm sure. Grab some of this. We want to make 14 more labs. And that'll do us for now. I'll grab this one as well. Whatever, finish the research when it's up there. I've actually kind of backing up on ores. Everyone's smelting up. That's good. Making some great progress, actually. In terms of getting set up. We'll do the steel and the stone brick at some point. And raw stone needs to come up as well, because that makes rail. We're going to want lots of rail to get started. I wonder if I should have just you know, skipped ahead, had mods installed so we could skip straight to having the trains. Part of me wants to do the vanilla building again, I guess. Not a big part, but a small part of me wants to do all this again. Gonna leave a bit of space at the top end in case, like, the next science things need more room. How far should we go? 1, 2, 3. We used like 4 poles. Let's add another. And then we'll put the labs up here. Or is that a bit far? 1, 2, 3.5. No, that's good. That's a good spot. I like that. They're going to go... Let's go inside that pole. Although 15 of them, how... Do I do one long line of 15? I mean, we're probably going to increase it at some point, if Helmod tells us to. But still, I think one long line for now. We're going to keep going east with the production of stuff to feed it, so why not? Let's get these 3s out of the way. While we make those labs. Oh, I should put those packs back in, shouldn't I, to get this crafting speed done. I did have the right amount from the looks of it. Get that done, it will speed up making more labs. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, there's the 15th. We want 1 extra for the belts to run around, I guess. Could do with more belts and inserters, and that's the last power pole. Okay, let's queue some up then. Poles, inserters, puncture belt. Bringing this up. And that will run around all the way around if we did a second row, but we're not yet, so there'll be 1 there. How many science packs are there in vanilla? 5? Or 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 7 with the rocket one. Okay. So you have a belt there, 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 and there. So this should go there. If it was all one long line forever, but I don't think we'll have 15 labs forever. Although we might have 15 labs here until we move them into the rail grid. That's possible. I guess we'll see. Also, kind of want it to go the other way so it's not immediately going round the back where it's not feeding in. Kind of. Yeah. Doesn't really matter. Some of the colours are going to have to do that regardless, but whatever. We'll do that. So 1, 2. That should be there. And then it's feeding more immediately into the machines. Which, there's one more to build. That does make sense. There's the crafting speed upgraded, so they will get done a bit quicker now that we've done them all. Next thing to do... Oh, we can do more crafting speed. Oh, I see. That's the next tier needs 114. Let's do it. And the next one, 186. Let's do that. And then they've stopped and we do 4 to 7. I see. Because it's an infinite one, this is how it's tiered. Sure. I mean, let's as good as anything to do that. And then we can move on to electronics, steel, and green research packs. This should move pretty quickly once we get it all connected, you know, 15 labs and a pack every 2 seconds, whatever it is. It's good for now, other than the lack of everything to actually feed it in. I'm good, right? I'd love some radar coverage. You scoop up a bit of iron and put some of them on the construction queue as well. Sure. And then I feel like more power is going to be what's needed. Potentially. We can go build that out. How far are we? Landfill needs a bit of green science, sure. Fine. What about water fill? Because it was on top of the other mods before. I'm not sure what the recipe's going to be like. Research just needs the green. And then, yeah, we still need explosives and concrete in order to make it. That's fine. I don't mind it being expensive. That's fair play. But we will need water fill to progress, considering there's no other water here. Okay, inserters being made. Slowly. Didn't get that very far. That's enough for that, so let me just reprioritize. Make the belt, then the radar. That's not enough belt, is it? 85 for all that. We need more like 150. Use all the iron for that, that's fine. Tell what the weather's like based on how the preview of my webcam has been mixed today. Sunny 1 minute and thunderstorms the next, and back and forth. It's just gotten pretty dark. So I guess it's about to rain again. Let's make a bunch more inserters after that. Although if we're doing green research soon, we'll be making belt and inserters for that, and we'll take the overflow. Or intentionally overproduce. So I kind of like that. I think it generally is okay, like, to have the green ones back up a bit and take the excess of belt and inserters. I prefer to intentionally produce more of them and box it up or something. need to loop around at the moment. Does it help? It can do, depending on the throughput and research speed, to get them back to the start. I'll do it. We have the belt. Let's do it. Forgot the recipe makes 2 each time. Yeah, so we did have enough. Oops. Never mind. We're handcrafting fast, so it doesn't matter. Next thing's going to be here. We can plan for it now while we wait. So what's this? This is production line, and this is a block. So can I make a second block within this production line? Add a production line. So there's a spare one. Remove that. Okay. Add a recipe. Where is add a block? Edit that block. Okay. So up here on the top line, if I add a recipe for green, then it adds it there. And if within... Okay, cool. Cool. That adds a block. We're aiming for the same, so 30 per minute. Yeah. We're making that and that, which is 1/4.5 of a machine. So if I want to force this up, can I... This is a limitation. I don't think it's for making it bigger. So making it smaller doesn't appear to work, no. I can add more belt and more inserter at the same amount. Output isn't there. See all? That's right. And then edit that. What is the number? So this is making 30, so on another 30. And likewise there. Sure. Okay. These lines are unnecessary. Interesting. So you don't need to add it in, you just need to see all products, and it tells you any, I guess, finished good, like not intermediates and not raw ingredients. And your input. Not sure how that works, but okay. This is fine though, it explodes all that out well enough. We can add them together, bring that out and put that in. Gives us all the numbers we need to make an excess of inserters and belt, and use half of what we're making there to make science packs. Might want to split the input of the gears. I mean, we can see the obvious thing. It's one machine feeding inserters and one feeding, or half feeding transport belt. That's that. You probably would split them apart to prevent like overdoing one over the other, or something like that. Don't know. How do we do that within Helm? I don't know how to do it in the other one. So if I want to have the gear wheels for just this, do I go into it? No. Do I... I'm not sure. Might not be possible at this level, I guess. It's not like a shift click or a control click. No, it just adds all of it. And if I restrict... That's wrong. Restrict that to 1 and then do it again. And that's a 0.5. Doesn't work. No. Okay. Not sure. Bit lost there. Doesn't matter. Not important. I can do this math in my head. So it's not terribly important. But it would be nice to know where that option is, if it exists in Helm mod. If it doesn't, I'd be leaning towards the other option. We can drop down another level. Otherwise I'd need to make a production line for the greens and drop them into that level. Can we, up the row, down the row, convert to a block? Interesting. So if I do that, that's yeah, like a new block on that level, not on a sub level. but it is somehow linked and unlinked. Interesting. Not sure what that does, but it's probably part of that. Interesting stuff. And then I can put that in without affecting that one, sure, but I can't see all the information at once here, which I would like to. Which, yeah, so if I remove that block, link or unlink. Put that in. What if I put that after that and then do that? That worked. Things kind of jumped around a bit and confused my eyes, but that worked. Have the gears in for the inserter already, then put the transport belt in and then put its gears in underneath. So it's not necessarily cascading in an obvious way, but it's doing it how I want it to. The numbers changed, hasn't it? This is half the belt I want. Oh, that's probably because I moved it out and took it back in. I just need to increase that by 30 and that'll work. Don't know why they're red. Not sure about why they're red, but the instructions here now appear correct, which is excellent. Very helpful. I've crafted everything. What was I waiting on? Some radars. Let's place them out. Bit of coverage. Just put one on the corner here. How far does that reach? Can't tell when I'm stood nearby. Oh, it's on the mini-map. It's the little blue box. The coverage is great on that for distance. I don't necessarily need one down here. There's nothing down here at the moment. So do the next one over. And it's just... we want it to overlap a bit, so I probably will move that other radar. Let's put one down on this corner instead. That's the one we'll plan on, so more over by the power. Which I'm going to need to run some poles out for to get this lined up how I want. It's gone very dark here. Feels like a thunderstorm is coming. We're aiming for somewhere after that point, but not too far away. There's fine. Powered by that pole. We'll just leave. We'll end up joining this to the end of when this power grows and stuff like that, and those poles won't be quite so lonely. That for now, that's all good. That covers the power generation. So we want one like above the other, the first one, not the first one. The one I put down by the copper, we want one up here in line with that. And then we'll move the first one I did. We're going not where those trees are. Yeah, where those trees are. In line with which pole? This set of poles. In the middle of the trees. That's fine. We'll dig them all out later at some point. So there would be good from the looks of it. Yep, that's good. But it's not like vertically in a nice place for these, is it? They're going to be in the middle of production cells. Well, we'll live with that, that's fine. We'll live with that. Next one's like up here somewhere. We want in line with next pole's up, this set here. May have to nudge it around based on what we're actually building here in the future. That's okay. There would do for now. Perfect. Got radar coverage. Can see... oh no, we're missing a bit. Can see most of the base, almost all of it, which is good. We are 2 hours in, which is not bad timing for this kind of progress. The amount built in. Could have rushed more research, but I wasn't particularly fussed on that side, just on building in getting a good foundation for the initial base that leads to making the railway items to build our rail grid out when we reach that point. Red research going very fast for this stuff, which is nice. It's a good time to just take a quick break. I'm also going to experiment with cutting the YouTube uploads into smaller sections, more digestible videos. So the first YouTube video will cut here. So thank you very much if you are watching this on YouTube. The next video will be available pretty much immediately or very soon after this one. Do all the usual things. Please do leave a like if you did like the video so I know, or a comment if you've got some feedback, and subscribe to the channel to catch the rest of the series, of course. Do love that. And come join us live on Twitch as well. All of that kind of stuff, very much appreciated.